Hi, this is Jenniffer Jamison with Crosby Scholars, and I thought I would record a short training for our senior advisors. So it's been a while since you've heard from me. I apologize about that. We have had a very eventful summer, which has included a new database installation. So today, what I thought I would do is rather than reaching out with a long email with a lot of boring stuff, I would record basically an email and show you some tools and some things that you might find helpful in supporting your students. So at this point in the program, you as a senior advisor should have met with your students twice, once in the spring of their junior year and once during the summer. If your students have not responded to you, will you please let me know as soon as possible? I want to reach out to those students and make sure that they understand the program resources and the requirements, and see if they're maybe on a different pathway and don't need as much help as we think. Okay. So to that end, I'm going to show you our new database. I'm going to show you from the student's perspective, and then we're going to log in as the advisor so you can see what's available to you. And then I'm going to show you how to enter notes to kind of catch up the student in our system so that I know that you've met with them and they can see that they've gotten credit for that as well. So let's start with what the student's seeing. So first off, I want to thank Mark Brown for updating our website. He's doing a great job of keeping us more modern and kind of streamlined. But to access the portal or the database, you're basically going to go to the Crosby Scholars Iredell website. If you're on your phone, you won't see this little character up here. You're going to have to click on the three lines on your phone to then get to this character. So you're going to click portal, and then it's going to get you here. So what our students are going to do, they're going to go to student portal, and then we now have two-step authentication, which means we're trying to keep our students' accounts secure. So let me try to remember. I think this is my student test account. And then each student will receive a code in their email, which will then give them a number that they can then key in. And I believe this is how it's going to work for you advisors as well. So you basically key in your email address and then it connects your account. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is that my student account now has this really cool dashboard. So the kids are liking this so far, but they can see what kind of tasks that they have that are required. They can see what they've already done to complete those tasks. So you can see that this student has already completed their community service hours, and they are halfway through completing their tasks. There's some information about upcoming tasks. We need some volunteers at a 917 event. And then there's the college fair form. We're going to talk about that in a second. At the bottom of the page, this is where the student can see what is required, and then they can come over here to the status and they can see whether it was started or completed. So this student has completed their academy requirement and they've completed their service requirement. So now all they have left so far is their meeting notes for their advisor and the college fair form. So there will be other events or tasks that might show up on the student's account, but if it does not say required, then it's kind of like a Crosby Plus. It's additional things that they can participate in. They will get benefit from it, but it's not required to complete the program and get their little cord and access to our scholarships and stuff like that. So that's the dashboard. Then the student can go over to the journey page. This is kind of a cool page for them. They can click on this go to my grade, and then it takes them to their grade level. And then you can click on the grade level to then see that same list that we were just looking on the dashboard, okay? And they can clearly see, what I really like in the community service forms, if they click on the community service forms, all the ones that they put in, they can actually go and see what they keyed in, right? So this is some of the functionality that we have. We're trying to get away from Google Forms. So the student can actually log in, click on community service, and enter their own form. So and then they can go back and see it, and we can see it, and it's a little bit more streamlined. The student then can, and again, remember, we're looking at the student view. The student can then see their advisor tab. So on their advisor tab, they can see who they were assigned to. So Jen Jamison test was assigned to Jenniffer Jamison, and it represents my fax number and my email. I'm not quite sure what the schedule a meeting goes to, but they can see that information. They can also see the meeting notes that you put in. So this is different than we have had in the past. In the past, you as advisors have put in information in a Google form, and while you got a copy of the Google form, the student really couldn't see what we had typed in. But from now on, the student, when the notes are put in, they will have access to be able to review the notes. So if you're using the notes to put in reminders of tasks or parts of the conversation, then they can see that as well. Okay. I really also like the students' functionality. They can click on the calendar and they can see upcoming events that they might be able or want to participate in. So every time we add an event, like for instance, we have Elon University is going to do a webinar for us on college admissions. Our open house is on the 17th. We need help with that. And we're doing test prep on the 14th. I don't know if we have any seniors that still need test prep. I think that's going to be mostly juniors. But that's a cool functionality. And then sometime in November, we will probably list our first scholarships for our seniors this year. So if you're on a call with your senior and they're asking about scholarships and last dollar grants, we will start communicating. Dominic Jones is our financial aid coordinator, and we will start communicating with students probably in November when we start opening up our scholarships. This is going to get them to submittable, and we just want to make sure that this is streamlined and working. Okay, so that is the student portal. So that's what your student is seeing. All right, now I'm going to sign out of here, and we're going to go log into the advisor portal so that you can see as an advisor what you are going to see when you log into the system. So let me go to my advisor account. And it has sent me a code. And I am going to go look for that code real quick. It might go to your spam. So be sure that you look in your spam folder as well. Let's look over here. There it is. So I'm going to take this number, copy it, and I'm going to go use it to sign into my admin portal as an advisor. Sorry, my advisor portal. So here I am, Crosby Scholars Advisor. So the first thing you're going to see when you log in is there's two tabs here. You're going to see the profile tab, which is your information. This is the information that is being represented to the students. So, excuse me. So at this point, you want to keep this information as updated as possible. If your email address has changed or your phone number has changed, simply press edit, and then you can edit that information so the student is getting the most up-to-date information. When you want to see which students are assigned to you, then you would click on assigned students. And this will get you to the list of students that are in our portal that you are responsible for as an advisor. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go find your student, and you can use the search functionality to find your student. So let's say I am looking for, well, we know we're looking for 12th graders, right? And I am looking for students that attend, let's say, Lake Norman High School. Don't be alarmed that high schools in other counties are showing up. We're working on that. But it is fun to kind of see all the different ways that you can filter and find students. I mean, you clearly, if you have a lot of students on your list, you can search by their email address and you can search by their first and last name as well. Um, so there you go, and their school ID. So I'm now, I have 82 seniors that are assigned to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to select a student. I'm just going to select a student. You know what? Let me select a student that I've actually met with, and we will key in notes together. All right. So let's go to Liam Anderson. Here we go. All right. So in this, now you're going to see that as an advisor, you can look at his information. So you can look at his profile. So ways to contact Liam, you have his phone number and his email address. Please note that Iredell Statesville Schools has changed the format of all of our students that participate with Iredell Statesville Schools. And we are trying to make sure, I believe we have updated all of the emails. But if your student has a problem logging into the portal, have them reach out to one of us, okay? Because it's usually at this point tied to the new email that Iredell Statesville Schools has assigned. So you can look at all of this information here. And then you can actually click on their dashboard, just like they see their dashboard, you can see their dashboard. So you can see, oh, they haven't turned in their community service. They still need to do 3 tasks, right? And then you can see, okay, these are the required tasks, and this is what is completed. So far, only the academy is completed, and they've not done the other requirements, okay? So, um, so that's just at a high level what you can see. You can also see their journey. Now on the admin and the advisors page, advisors they don't have that little button go to, but you can come down and you can look at the 12th grade year, just like the student was looking. And again, you can see all the tasks and you can see what was required and you can see whether it was completed or not, okay? All right, so that is at a high level what you're seeing for Journey. Then you're going to go back to Liam and you're going to key in meeting notes, okay? So notice that when the student keyed in meeting notes, they did not have the ability to enter notes, but you as their advisor has the ability to enter notes. So if you're a staff member and you are entering notes, you can enter those notes either through the advisor portal that I'm showing you, or you can enter it through the admin portal under meeting notes, okay? So basically, I'm asking each of our advisors, and I know you have previously put stuff in Google, and I know that you are keeping track of some of this manually, but this is my first attempt at an advising conference notes form in our new system. And if you can be patient with me, please go ahead and try to enter this information based on the notes that you've taken from your student meetings for the first 2 meetings, okay? So simply all you're gonna do is you're gonna click on enter meeting notes. And then I know this seems counterintuitive, but you're gonna enter the student's name, okay? So basically, the way that our system is working right now, it is not, if you don't type the name in this form, when I pull all the data for the forms, I won't know which student this is for. This is a work in progress, but for right now, I'm gonna ask you to type in stuff that you would think would already be connected, but be patient with me. So this is Liam Anderson. And then guess what? I'm going to ask you to type in your name as well. Again, for the same reason, when I go to the forms back end to pull all of this data, it does not connect to the specific student account. So I won't know that it was you and I won't know it was them. So if you just be patient with me and go ahead and key in your name as well. Okay, so key in my name. And then just simply answer the questions. How did you meet with a student? I met with them via Zoom. And did you meet with a student during the spring? Yes, I did. And did I meet with them during the summer? Yes, I did. Okay. And then what career is this person want to do? So they are looking at medical research and possibly paleontology. Okay. And I spelled that wrong. And guess what? It will fix it for me. Yay. Okay. So then it wants to know, what are the students' post-graduation plans? We really need to know this from you guys on each of the students that you've met with. We're trying to understand pathways. This is at a very high level how we're going to do it for this year. We're going to try to ask the student as well, but depending on how they answer this question will be depending on what other requirements we might have them do based on what they need and the resources available. So this particular student is looking to go for a 4-year college degree. And I am going to enter the notes that I took. So asked student to create and create. Okay. I also connected the student for a volunteering opportunity. Okay. And then if there was any other things that I felt like I wanted to capture, so he founding member of D&D club and like creative, right? So sometimes, understanding, the little things that kind of help me connect with the student. These notes will be in the system for him as well as you. So the next time you meet with a student, you can review the notes and say, oh, how's that D&D club going? Hey, how did the Iredell Health Systems internship or volunteer opportunity go? Were you able to connect? Did you find that helpful, right? So I like to put things in there that are going to help me in my next meeting so that the student feels like I'm engaged. So if you took notes and can do that, great. If not, next time, let's keep that in mind. Okay. So we want to please list the college's student plans. So the student plans on using the Common App, and their top choice is NC State. And they're going to apply early action. Their second choice is App State. And well, I know that App State is now rolling. They don't have early action anymore. And let's see. This student did not give me a third choice school. So I probably had him go research schools, but I don't have one. So I'm not going to put in the rest of these. And I think I put it so you don't have to. So let me click next. And here we go. So then the next thing we want to know is, has the student researched the cost of colleges on their list, right? So every conversation I have with a student, if you have not had this conversation yet with your students, I need you to make sure that they understand the schools on their list and what the cost to attend those schools, okay? So has the student researched the cost? Yes, we did that together. Have they discussed a budget with their parents? Yes, we've done that together. And then we would like to have an understanding, does the student plan on completing the FAFSA? I believe the FAFSA is scheduled to open December 1st this year. We'll see how that works out. Dominic Jones is probably going to offer 4 sessions this year that we will open up for our advisors to participate as well. So yes, I did talk to the student about the FAFSA, and the student was looking for scholarships. So then I'm going to go to next. And then these are miscellaneous notes. So this is the way for you to feed information into the system to get to us as well. But keeping in mind, the student will be able to see this. So do you feel the student is on track for their post-high school goals? Yes. If you feel like you need to elaborate, if it's no, let me know. Does your student need additional support from Crosby Scholar staff member? I'm going to say yes, but that's because I'm the staff member and I'm their thing. What kind of help need to ensure application is correct and SAE? Okay, so that's for me. If you are, if you don't feel like a Crosby staff member needs to be involved and you can handle it, then you can say no. And then if you just want to put whatever notes you feel like you need to follow up with the student, you can do so. But if you're like, hey, I really need the student to get some help from a staff member, do me a favor, put those notes in here. And also, please send me an email separately saying, hey, can you help the student, and give me an idea of what you want their help with. Okay, so I'm going to press submit. And then now those notes are in the system. When I go look at Liam and I go to his dashboard, you're going to notice, wow, he's got 2 out of 4 of his things done, because now the first advising meeting notes are complete, and it's giving him credit for that. So it's really that simple. Getting the data into the system is going to be super helpful. We really appreciate you duplicating your efforts to entering this information. But from now on, this is how you will report that you've met with the student, and you will enter information in. I'm going to give it a month or so before I put fall notes in there. I just need to get a good understanding of, can everybody use these notes? Is there some way I need to modify it? And I still need to get an understanding of, when I pull the information out of forms, what am I missing, or should I format it differently? So you're going to notice that I have some drop downs, I have some just little circles, I have some square tabs. Again, I'm trying to use different styles of questions and then see how I get the answers to those questions, so then we can make sure that the data is useful. Okay. All right. If you have any questions whatsoever about the database, how to enter advising notes, please, please, please give me a call. I am here. You can, on my email address, in the signature line of all of my emails is a little Calendly link. Here, I will compose an email. And you can see here, it says need a meeting with me. Click here to set one up. So you can just click on that and you can set up a meeting with me at any time. Okay. The next thing I was going to just mention, in case you have not spoken to your students about cost, I wanted to just show you the College Navigator tool. And you just Google, type in College Navigator, and this is the National Center for Education Statistics. Again, I need students to really understand what they're getting themselves into, and have a conversation with their parents about their budget for school, and make sure that it aligns, okay? Because this is where I see heartbreak in the spring, where students really don't pay attention to how much college costs at the application phase, and they either miss out on the opportunity to apply to a more affordable school, or a school that might offer them more merit money based on their grades, and the fact that the school might be less selective and they want to attract them. So having this conversation early on is really important. I did record a session paying for college for parents and students. I will share the link to that video. Advisors, you are more than welcome to watch that and or set up a meeting to call me or to talk to Dominic. But on this College Navigator, I just put in NC State and I can actually click on tuition and fees, and you can see how much it has cost to go to this particular school for the past 4 years. And you can see the in-state prices versus out-of-state prices. So if you're searching Clemson and we are North Carolina residents, then you can see, like this is NC State. If you're an in-state student, it's running about $26,000 a year. If you are an out-of-state student, it would run you about $49,000 a year. So it's really important that the students understand that. And I'm just going to put in Wake Forest. I'm not trying to pick on a school. But I wanted to put one of the more selective private schools and just give everybody an understanding. I mean, we're talking $87,000 a year. So just a reminder to our advisors, and I remind students of this all the time, especially for the highly selective schools, they are more apt to meet need and not give merit money. So if everybody's smart and everybody has good grades, then they're not giving out a lot of merit money, as opposed to like a less selective private school like a Wingate or a Wofford or a Furman or something like that. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. The next thing I wanted to talk with you about is reaching out to your students for their fall meeting. So please feel free to, email the students, encourage them to meet with you, discuss where they are in the college application process. They should be knee deep in their Common App at this point. So I have recorded a video just last Friday for parents and students. It was basically a walk through the Common App. And I also discussed the Historically Black Colleges Black Common App, where students can apply to up to, here, let me just show you. If you're not aware, I need all of our advisors to be aware that there is an application where for $20, a student can apply to 66 different historically Black colleges. Now, not every historically Black college is on this list, but there are quite a few. And if you're applying to more than one, I mean, applying to college costs, anywhere from $50 to $100 per college. So to be able to apply to any number of these for just $20, that's a pretty sweet deal. So there's the HBCUs. There's 66 of them listed. You can point your student there. And then cfnc.org has the ability to apply on their website as well in the application hub. And then their countdown to college. And some people have called this like pre-college application week. There are a number of schools in North Carolina who will waive their application fee during this week, which is October 21st through October 27th. So I want to point this out. So as you're talking to students about how they're applying, not every school waives their fee. So let's go here. Yes, see, they don't have a list yet of which schools are waiving the fee. Yeah, the problem is not all schools will waive the fee. So Chapel Hill, NC State, the big schools in North Carolina typically are not waiving their fee. However, if your student, and I'm just gonna then take you to the third, which is Common App. And again, I go way into detail in this. on another video. You can watch that. But basically, at a very high level, I just want to show you that your students can log into the Common App, and there is a criteria on this middle tab at the bottom of the first tab for profile, and it's the Common App fee waiver. So if your student hits any of these eligibilities, right, they've gotten a fee waiver for the SAT, ACT, they've enrolled in federal free or reduced lunch, right? Any of these things apply, then they have the ability to get a fee waiver using the Common App as well. So I just wanted to point those out at a high level and make sure that you're encouraging students to go ahead and apply to college. Some students will wait until regular decision. We do not advise that. We really, truly believe they should go ahead and apply prior to the early action deadlines. Yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. Again, I have a video for this that I can send out. During this meeting, during your fall meeting with your student, there's a couple things I'd like to make sure that you understand that we're doing. First off is application help. Secondly is essay review. If you can work with your student with their essay, that would be fabulous. If you don't feel like you're comfortable reviewing essays, you can have the student send the essay to Mariah Roseborough, who is managing our essay review process, or you can have the student reach out to me. I meet with students all the time and review essays. I'm perfectly okay with that. If you're comfortable with it, great. But if not, Mariah or myself. The other thing, scholarship conversations. So at this point in the fall, the biggest scholarship understanding that they need to know is, what do I have to do to get the school's money as a part of the admissions process? Okay, so there are a lot of colleges where just applying to college will get the student access to, they'll look at the account, they'll look at their merit, they'll look at their grades, and they'll determine if they want to offer the student money or can or should. But there are some elite scholarships that students can self-nominate themselves for, but the deadlines are coming up really quickly. Like the Moorhead Kane Scholarship for Chapel Hill, that's due by October 1st. Early action for Chapel Hill is October 15th. So if you have not met with your students and they are thinking of scholarships, NC State, App State, there is the application process, and then there's the scholarship application process. So 9 times out of 10, they have to apply through admissions to then get access to the scholarship application on the school's website. So from my perspective, instead of students spending their time right now searching for money from outside organizations, I want them to focus their time on searching for money from the schools they're applying for and making sure they don't miss deadlines to be considered for merit-based and need-based money, okay? We talked a little bit about the countdown to college in October. Again, depending on the school, check the deadlines, because that is a late week. That is October 21st through 27th. So like Chapel Hill, you can't really apply through CFNC and wait until then. Not that they're going to waive the fee, but it would be too late. It would be after early action, which is October 15th. ECU does waive their fee. However, if they want to apply to ECU honors program, that is due earlier and you would miss that week. So just anyway, Countdown for College has a bunch of great tools. I love CFNC for what they want to help and offer the kids, but we want to make sure that kids are not missing something in the process. We've talked a little bit about the pathway conversation in the meeting notes. If you have a student who is still kind of lost and is not quite sure what's next, send me an email. Let me know so I can then have a conversation with that student. The college fair form. So a lot of our students, in fact, I have 2.5 pages of students. You can't see it, but 2.5 pages of students that I need to manually add their college visit form. Um, the way the system works, it did not capture that information from our legacy process. So anyone who had done this before senior year, I am going to go ahead and relieve them of that. But if you have a senior and they have not told us what colleges they've toured, they can simply just log into their portal, click on the form, and just enter it, right? So here, let me show you. Go to share. So Liam here, his college fair form. It does look like he had already done this. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to complete the task for him. He is looking to go to a four-year school. And then I am going to list NC State and App State. And I believe he did a tour. If you, yeah, just have the student fill this out, right? So I am kind of forcing this information, right? I'm still being creative in what I want to put in here. But basically, this student did this in the system last year, and I am now giving them credit. So when I go to the dashboard, the student has, the task should show complete now. I think I have to go in and approve it as an admin. So anyway, but that's how the student would do it. Let's see, last thing on my list. There will be college fairs, excuse me, in October at the different high schools. We're still trying to figure out who's coming where and when. Students can ask their school counselor about that, but it might be beneficial for students, even seniors, even if they've already toured schools, to go and see what these colleges have to offer at the college fair in October. As I said, I have some videos that you can review to use as additional training. I have a paying for college video, a Common App walkthrough video, and I believe Mariah has done an essay video. We've just done several things, but reach out, let me know which ones you want, and we'll get them to you. We do offer on the third Thursday of every month a free parent webinar, where those are open to advisors and students. And this is where a lot of these videos are coming from. We're just trying to get as much information and resources out as we can. We are starting the process of orientation with our juniors. Yay. So hopefully advising has been a good experience for you. And if you're interested in taking on a few juniors in the spring, let me know and we can work through that. And as always, if you need anything at all, please reach out and let me know. Otherwise, hopefully this has been helpful and have a great evening.